Good afternoon again, Detective Lang.
Afternoon, Your Honor.
Detective, you're reminded that you are still under oath, having not been released as a witness yet in this matter.
Yes.
Mr. Darden, briefly.
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective Lang, you testified already, I believe, that you were shown the glove Detective Furman found on the south walkway?
Yes.
Okay. And sometime after that, on June 13, did you check any doors leading out to the south walkway?
Yes, subsequent to Detective Furman showing me the glove, I checked 2 doors on the south side of the residence. One that I believe went into the laundry room area of the residence, and a second door that appeared to go into the garage.
And when you say that you checked those doors, what do you mean by that?
I checked them to see if whether or not they were locked, and they both were locked.
Okay. And did you write any report to that effect?
No.
Thank you.
Mr. Cochran, any cross as to that item?
Yes. May I have that, I'd like to have the poster put up. Close the door.
Mr. Douglas, you can assist us here.
Good afternoon again, Detective Lang.
Good afternoon.
Would you mind stepping down and showing us where this door into the garage is located, and you can mark that by using one of these arrows, if you're so kind.
Seems to me it was right in this general area here.
Going into the garage, is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
All right, that's just your independent recollection now, months later, is that correct?
Yes.
You have no reports to refresh your recollection, do you?
No.
All right, so that we're clear, and while you're standing here, with regard to your checking these doors, at what time of day on June 13th did this take place?
It was just subsequent to Detective Furman pointing out the glove, so it was approximately 6:25 in the morning, I believe, give or take a few minutes.
On the 13th?
Yes.
And from what I understand, you testified, these doors were locked, is that correct?
Yes.
In other words, did they have a key which would activate those doors?
I don't recall specifically, but I believe the knobs were smooth, so there wouldn't be anything in there. And I believe that they may have been a deadbolt lock, but I'm not certain.
Did you ever, you may resume your seat. Did you ever go around to the other side of the garage, inside the garage, and see whether or not you could unlock that door from the inside?
The garage door, no, I didn't.
Did you ever go inside the residence on that morning and see whether or not you could open the door into the second door, and come outside?
I did check that door in the laundry room, and again, I believe there was an inside deadbolt lock, but I'm not certain.
Do you have any photographs of how that existed and how it appeared at that time?
I don't know if there are any photographs that were taken of that area. I didn't direct any.
And you've not seen any, have you?
There may not be.
All right, so your best recollection is presently that there are 2 doors on the south side of the residence, which you saw that morning, correct?
Yes,
You could not gain entry into those doors, is that correct?
that's correct.
As we sit here now, you can't tell us whether or not a key might have activated either one of those 2 doors, is that correct?
Again, my recollection is that the knobs were smooth-faced, but I believe there was a deadbolt in at least the utility room door. So it's possible that a key could have activated that door, yes.
The second door, the one into the washing room there? The laundry room?
Yes, but again, I'm not certain.
All right, so you're not clear on that, is that correct?
No.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. Darden?
Detective Lang, I'd like to show you a photograph and see if this will refresh your recollection regarding the
You may.
For the record, this is photograph 148.
Am all three?
He's looking at photographs 146 and 147 as well, Your Honor. These are
No.
photograph numbers and not evidence item numbers.
Yes, it appears to be the inside of the Rockingham garage, and there is the door pictured there, but I do not recall physically checking it,
Physically checking what?
the door.
Did you go inside the garage?
Yes.
Did you see anything in front of the side garage door?
Check the phone back question, please.
Overruled.
There was quite a bit of items stacked in there, yes.
The same items depicted in photograph 148?
It's the same. Rephrase the question, please.
The items that you just described, do you see those items depicted in any of the three photographs I just showed you to refresh your recollection?
There are several items there, and that is my recollection. As to the specific items, I don't recall, but I do recall it being similar to that photograph at that date, yes.
May I mark photograph number 148, People's next in order?
128.
And may I place that photograph on the Elmo?
You may. It's his. That's true. That's true. Client needs to see it. Just so ladies and gentlemen of the jury know, it's just a common courtesy to show the exhibits to opposing counsel before you show it to the witness of the jury, so everybody knows what we're talking about.
Good. There's a question regarding dating these photographs. Let me approach on the record for a moment.
You want to take the witness on board diary as to that photograph?
Yes, I'd like to.
Proceed.
Thank you very kindly. Detective Lang, the three photographs which have been shown to you who are numbered DA photo numbers 146, 147, and 148. Can you tell us what date those photographs were taken on?
No, I can't.
And
Seems to me there were photographs taken on the 13th, though, of the entire house.
I missed that last answer. I'm sorry.
Seems to me there were photographs taken on the 13th of June. I don't believe there's a date on that, though.
Do you know whether or not these particular photographs were taken on June 13th?
No, looking at those, I don't. I would have to look into that further.
If I were to tell you these photographs were taken in July, would that refresh your recollection?
It's possible.
And do you know whether or not Mr. Simpson's son, Jason, seated in the front row there, had moved into the residence by that time and moved things into the garage by July of 1994?
Well, Mr. Cochran, I allowed you to take him on board diary as to the foundation for the photographs,
Well,
since it's not established at this point.
Well, I think this goes to foundational questions, Your Honor, with regard to whether it's in the same condition it was on June 13th. That's the question.
Well, I think we're going beyond what I need to know.
Okay. Very well.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to lodge an objection, Your Honor, to the photographs at this point regarding foundation.
Noted. Mr. Darden?
Can we display the photograph to the jury, Your Honor?
I've got a foundational problem at this point.
The witnesses testify. Would you like me to argue the issue from here? Let me ask another question.
Please.
Okay. Is this the way you remember the garage on June 13th, Detective?
Objection from that question. That's legal suggestion.
Sustained. Rephrase the question. I think we've already got that question and answer, though.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Well, there was no objection. All right. I think you need more foundation.
were photographs taken on June 13, Detective?
Yes,
Did you go inside the garage?
yes.
And did you have some recall as to the items you saw in front of the side garage door?
Overruled.
I do recall items in front of the door. Again, as to the specific items, I do not have an independent recollection.
Okay. Do these appear to be the same items?
Overruled.
It's very possible.
And having looked at these photographs, do they refresh your recollection as to which items you saw in front of the side garage door?
I do recall various items. They do look familiar, but again, I don't have that specific recollection. Front of the door.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, anything else? All right, Detective Lang, you may step down. However, you are still subject to recall.
Thank you.
All right, next witness.
Brian Kato Kaelin, B-R-I-A-N, K-A-T-O, K-A-E-L-I-N.
Ms. Clark.
Mr. Kaelin, is Kato your middle name?
A nickname?
Is that what people call you instead of Brian?
Yes.
You a little bit nervous today?
Feel great. Little nervous.
All right, Mr. Kaelin, did you know someone by the name of Nicole Brown Simpson back in 1992?
Yes.
Can you tell us, please, how you met her?
In Aspen, Colorado.
And what was the event?
It was like a Christmas break, and I went with a buddy, and we met.
And what month was that, if you recall?
December.
Who was the buddy you were with that when you met Nicole Brown?
Grant Kramer.
Did you get involved in some kind of romantic relationship with her?
Did I?
Did you?
No.
Did you become friends?
Yes.
Did you have occasion to see her again after you met her in December of 1992 in Aspen?
Yes, I saw her again in Aspen.
In Aspen?
Oh, throughout the trip, yes. And then after that, also.
Well, how long was that trip in Aspen in December of 92?
I think 7 days, about. It's like a week.
And did you all spend that whole week together?
Off and on, yes.
And that, when I say you all, who was all of you together?
Quite a few people. But basically it was myself, Grant Kramer, Faye Resnick was there, and Nicole, and other people that the names I can't think of them right now, but other people.
Now, at that time, sir, was Nicole Brown already divorced? You can answer.
Oh, I believe so, yes.
After seeing her and meeting her in Aspen in December of 1992, after that trip, when was the next time you saw Nicole Brown?
I saw her pretty much in January at her house that was on Gretna Green.
January of 93, is that?
Yes.
And is that in Brentwood, that house on Gretna Green?
Yes.
And what could cause you to go to her house in Brentwood?
There was a party, and I was invited to go.
When you saw her at that party, I take it.
Yes.
And can you describe for us the layout of that house on Gretna Green?
Okay. Want me to start from the driveway?
Actually, no, we don't have to be that specific. Was there a main house?
Okay. You walk into a kind of foyer. There would be like a den, the living room to the right, kitchen, and other rooms, and upstairs.
All right. And you have a front door to that house, do you?
Yes.
Does it face the street?
Yes.
Is there a picture window that faces the street on that house?
Yes.
And that picture window looks into what room?
The living room.
Is there a rear entry into the house?
It's a side and a rear. Two rear that would go to the kitchen, and one goes to a den, and one goes to another bedroom. In the back.
In the back?
Right.
So are there three entrances besides the front door, are there three other entrances to the house?
Four.
Four.
There's a side door in the front that goes to the kitchen.
Okay.
You walk the back, then you have the back doors to the kitchen, then you have back double doors to the den, and then there's another bedroom that has double doors also.
Okay. What kind of doors are those?
Like French doors? They're double doors?
All of the ones in the back there,
No. Oh, yes.
are they?
Except the one in the front kitchen. It's a single door.
You mean the side door to the kitchen?
Side
That's a
door.
single door? Is that yes?
Yes, that's yes.
Okay. And then do you have the double doors that you referred to in the back that lead into the kitchen, the den, and a bedroom? Are those all French doors?
Yes.
And now, is there any yard area, the property that belongs to the house that's located behind the house?
A pool, a small yard, and there's a guest house.
Now, when you went to the property, when you went to that Gretna greenhouse, to the party given by Nicole Brown, did you notice that guest house in the rear of the property?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us whether you had a discussion with her about that guest house in the rear?
I did.
What was the nature of it, of your discussion?
I said, Nicole, who lives back there? And she said, no one. And then I said, could I? And she says, well, if you do, you have to clean it out. And I said, great.
Was it not clean at that time?
There was furniture in there, treadmill, and a few other things.
Okay.
And that was it.
So did you make some agreement with her concerning paying rent, living there?
Yes.
And what was your agreement?
It'd be $450 to $500 for rent, and then take care of the kids. Nicole would take things off, and that was it. And
When you say take things off, if you took care of the children, would your rent be reduced?
yes,
And your agreement was to pay her how much per month?
it was between $450 to $500.
Depending on how much you took care of the children?
Yes.
And by the children, who are we referring to?
Sydney and Justin.
And who lived in the main house at Gretna Green?
Nicole and Sydney and Justin.
That's it?
Yes.
So when did you move into the Gretna Green house?
It was January, kind of the middle of January, I think, pretty right around there,
Of 1993?
of 93.
Now, during that time, did you have occasion to meet Mr. Simpson?
Not in January, I think it was in February. I don't know the exact date.
Sometime in February of 1993?
Yes.
And when I say Mr. Simpson, is that someone you see in court today, sir?
Yes, sir, Jay.
Point him out, please.
There. So,
Thank you. Okay, and how was it you met him? What was the occasion?
oh, he came by
To the house on Gretna Green?
to the house on Gretna Green.
How long did you live at that house on Gretna Green?
Until January of 94, the beginning of January. Right then I left.
Can you tell us exactly what it was that happened to cause you to move out in January of 1994?
Okay, what happened was I was going to move to Bundy with Nicole, and
Okay, let me ask you
Okay.
another question, sir. I'm sorry. Did Nicole Brown decide to move out of Gretna Green in 1994?
yes,
And did she find another location to live in?
yes,
And where was that?
on Bundy,
Do you recall the address?
I think 875,
Did you see the location?
yes.
Tell us, sir, whether that was a house, a freestanding house, or a townhouse, or a duplex. Do you remember?
It was a townhouse,
And was it a single unit or multiple units?
multiple units.
How many?
I think 4. I don't know the number.
Did you actually see the location?
Yes,
And how was it that you came to see that location?
because I was going to move there.
So you went to see where you'd live?
Yes.
Now, where would you have stayed in the Bundy location?
Okay, there's a room that goes kind of its own side entrance. It goes down, and there's a room that's off to the side It's kind of, it's in the house, but it's to the side.
Is it on the lowest level?
Yes.
And does it have a window that faces a walkway?
There's a walkway, so I don't remember a window, but there probably was.
If you were to walk in through the garage area, would you have to go downstairs to go to the area where you were going to live?
I don't remember, but I know it had its own entrance. That was part of it, that it had an entrance. And I don't remember the layout that well.
Okay, the area then where you were going to live on the lowest level of the house, did it have its own bathroom?
Yes.
So, and what else did it have that would be private just for you?
Closets, bedroom, bathroom.
That was it?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Now, was that location inside the house itself?
Yes,
This was not a separate guest unit like it was at Gretna Green?
exactly.
And were you planning to pay her rent there?
Yeah, yes.
I'm going to show you a photograph, sir, and ask you if you recognize the building. Previously marked as People's 86.
Your Honor, this is not a fact in dispute or stipulation.
All right, Ms. Clark, do we need to, is there any dispute that we're talking about 875 South Monday?
No, I just want to make sure that the witness knows it too. I want to see if he recognizes the information. Have
All right.
not shown. Have not
Proceed.
shown you any photographs, sir?
No.
Proceed.
One, please. Court counsel, moments, please.
Your Honor, in the interest of time, we would stipulate that he knows the location, and that this is the location, we're talking about the same location.
Ms. Clark, any dispute about this?
I'd like to make sure that we're
All right.
talking. I haven't shown this witness any
Okay,
photographs.
Okay, okay.
Your Honor, I believe we're going to need to check some cabling systems. We are not getting any signal to the court.
All right, Ms. Clark, why don't you just physically show
Show the
Mr. Kaelin
photograph.
the photograph? Thank you.
Show you this photograph that's been previously marked as People's 86.
Yes.
Okay, do you recognize what's shown there?
The townhouse on Bundy?
Okay, is that the townhouse that you were describing that you were going to move into with Nicole?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, did you ever move into that townhouse, sir?
No.
Why not?
I was going to move in, and I moved in at OJ's
Why not? Why'd you do that?
because OJ asked me to go to his house. I mean, it was part of the deal. I went there instead of moved in with Nicole.
What did the defendant say to you about moving into his house instead of Nicole's condominium or townhouse?
I mean, we talked about it, and it was sort of the right thing to do, that not to be in the same house, that I should probably go there, and OJ offered me his place. It was free, and he said when you can stay as long as you want, and when it's time for you to go, he let me know.
Now, so did he indicate anything to you with respect to what he thought of the fact that you'd be living in the same house with Nicole Brown?
Well, they were trying to work things out, and I said that I understood. It wasn't, I thought maybe I shouldn't be a guy in the house, and I would go there. Kind of like that.
Did he indicate to you in some way that he thought it was inappropriate for you to be in the same house with her? Or you didn't like it?
Well, didn't like, but it probably wouldn't be right.
And why wouldn't it be right?
I don't know the answer.
Were you lovers?
No.
His friends?
Friends.
Did you tell the defendant that?
Oh, he knew we were friends.
But he still didn't want you living in that house?
I guess, I mean, I didn't, and I guess not.
Okay. And so he offered to let you stay at his house on Rockingham, is that?
Yes.
Do you recall the address on Rockingham, where he lived?
360 North Rockingham.
And what was your arrangement with the defendant concerning what kind of rent you'd be paying him to stay at his place on Rockingham?
I offered rent, and O just said he didn't want my money, and that was it.
So he let you stay there for free?
Yes.
And did you then move into his house on Rockingham?
I did. It was kind of like that same day. I was kind of like, oh, where do I go? And then I went there.
And so did you pack up and move all of your things into some area in Rockingham?
So, what was that?
Did you pack up and move all of your things over to Rockingham?
Yes.
Where on Rockingham did you stay? What part of the property?
It was a guest house by the pool.
And what did you have? Your area where you lived, what was yours? What part of that house was yours?
Oh, I had the guest house that had like an office area and a bathroom. And there's like a little stove and all I didn't use, but there was a kitchen area by the tennis courts.
So you actually, at the Bundy location, you would have had just a bedroom and a bathroom, is that right?
Yes.
And at the Rockingham location, and you were going to pay rent there at the Bundy location, is
Yes.
that right?
Yes.
How much were you going to pay Nicole to stay at the Bundy location with
It's
her?
the same.
$450 to $500? Is that yes?
Yes.
And you went to stay with the defendant at Rockingham, and you had your bedroom, the office, the bathroom, and access to a kitchen out at the pool house for free.
Yes.
When did you move in there on Rockingham?
January
Of 94?
of 94.
Now, were you an aspiring actor back then, sir?
Yes.
And you still are?
Yes.
Did you think it might be advantageous to you to stay with the defendant and get to know him for your acting career?
I didn't think that. I never asked for anything like that. I was getting rent free, so we didn't ask anything.
Did you think that your friendship with him, your acquaintanceship, especially living on his property, might send acting roles your way?
I didn't think that. I never asked. I was hopefully getting things on my own. But
So you
if he did, he'd bring it up on his own. I don't think we're going for the same parts. I
What I'm getting at, sir, is this. You hoped it might help, but you weren't going to ask him for help. Is that right?
He could have helped me. I mean, if it happened, he was someone that could help me, yes.
Do I have your board showing council asked it to be marked people's
129.
I'm sorry?
129.
29.
Yes.
Mr. Kaelin, I ask you to step down and take a look at the board reappointed with you. Bring the pointer with you. Have I ever shown you this, sir? Have you ever seen this board before?
No.
All right, why don't you take a moment to look at it, acquaint yourself with it, and ask a few questions.
Okay. Do I stand here?
First of all, can you tell us, in general, what property does this board depict?
This is the Rockingham, 360 Rockingham.
Right. And can you tell us, down here, there's a box that's encircled in red, marked Kaelin's room. Do you recognize the location shown there?
Yes.
And was that the location where you were staying at 360 Rockingham?
Yes, it is.
Now, there are two photographs that have arrows to that box. See these photographs,
Yes.
sir? And for the record, I apologize to the court, I should have had labeled, but the photograph to the left as you face the diagram should be A, and the photograph to the right should be B.
All right. We'll mark that afterward.
And I'll move on. Sir. All right. In photograph A, can you tell us what's shown in that photograph?
In A,
Yes.
this is the front entrance to the room. To
Those
get
doors?
These doors. This would be how I'd get in. My bed. This is the office. This is a dresser. TV.
Okay. Now, for the record, when the witness said office, he gestured to the room just past the bed. When he indicated the front entrance, he indicated shuttered doors that are shown in the photograph. And I think the rest is self-explanatory.
Yes.
If you open these shuttered doors and walk straight out, so can you tell us what you go to, what area?
Okay, there's cement here, 3 steps that, I think 3, that lead up, and you'd walk straight up, you kind of hit the pool. And left is the main house, and right would be the other guest houses.
And with respect to photograph B, sir, can you tell us what's shown in that photograph?
This shot was taken like from the office spot area. The bathroom, air conditioner, a bed, same bed, and this is like where the phone is and
Nightstand?
nightstand.
All right. Is there anything on the wall above that nightstand?
Above the nightstand,
Right. Was there when you were living there?
yeah, a picture. It was right about here. It would have been.
For the record, when the witness says right about here, he's referring to an area just outside to the right of the photograph, just outside the boundary of the photograph on the yellow portion of the diagram. And when he indicated bathroom, he gestured to the room in the photograph depicted past the bed again, where there's a white cabinet and a mirror visible. Okay, and you indicate that would have been taken from the vantage point of the office, facing towards the back?
Picture, yes.
That's photograph B. And you indicated, oh yeah, and the air conditioner, for the record, Your Honor, is indicated, I think it's self-explanatory, on the photograph B, right above the lamp.
And these are closets.
And for the record, the witness is gesturing to 2 doors on the wall.
On the far wall, yes.
Yes,
Closet
thank
and
you.
stove.
Now, if you can tell us, sir, the room as shown in photograph B, is that the condition of the room when you lived there? Did it look like that?
Yeah, my dressers aren't there.
Were there dressers there when you lived there?
This dresser and the nightstand, and then I had some stuff.
And for the record, where you indicating you had some stuff?
I had like a dresser here.
Okay, for the record, the witness is gesturing to, on photograph B, the wall that would be just to the right of the doors. Okay. And did you keep clothing or things on and in that dresser?
Yes. There, in the closets.
Go ahead, have a seat. May I show the rest of the jury this morning?
You may.
To ask you.
Come
Can
down.
you tell us, sir, to whom the other units belong behind your guest unit as depicted on this diagram?
Come
Yeah.
down. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
What was the question?
Yes, are there other units in that same, along the same corridor here?
Yes.
That are behind yours?
Right. Next to mine was Arnell's room.
Did you have a common wall with her room?
Yes.
All right. And behind hers, was there another unit?
Not behind, it was on the side. It would connect. And it would be, it says Arnell's, but that would be the maid's.
So this end unit that says Arnell's room should actually be maid's room?
Yes.
To your knowledge, is there another room for maids inside the main residence?
Yes.
All right. As of June 12th, 1994, sir, who was living in the main house and in the guest units?
OJ in the main house, Arnell and Arnell's room, and that's my room, and Gigi off and on.
Gigi off and on in that end room that's at this moment marked as Arnell's room.
Yes.
All right, if you can, sir, if you come out of your room, out of those shuttered doors that are shown in these photographs A and B,
Yes.
can you describe what is outside your door when you step out?
My first steps when I
Right.
It's first steps out are the cement, and I would have to go upstairs to left or right. I could walk to Arnell's room for me to right, out of the doors, and left, or I'd go up the stairs and I'd go left. I'd go into the main house back doors. Straight ahead is the pool, like a barbecue pit there, and
Now, what if you went straight through the pool area?
okay.
Where would you come out?
So if it goes straight through, there's a path, I'd follow it, and I'd go up to the front yard,
And is there a side yard here that you would walk through?
right here.
And is this path? Is that accurate? There's a path there that takes you through the yard?
Yes.
And where does that path take you to? Where does it end?
It goes into the main driveway.
Okay. Oh, have a seat, sir. All right, so you indicated Gigi. Who's Gigi?
Gigi was a housekeeper.
Did she live in on the property?
It was off and on. She had a husband, I'm sure she still does, and she'd go to where he was at. You know, sometimes stay there, sometimes not.
Okay. So at times she would spend the night on the property and other times not?
Yes.
Was there any other maid that lived in the property?
At that time?
Yes.
No. When just Gigi.
I stand corrected. Council's right. As of June the 12th, 1994.
June the 12th was Gigi.
Okay. All right, at some point, direct your attention to May of 1994. Mid to late May, sir. Can you tell us whether you began looking for another place to live?
Yes.
And why was that?
I was periodically looking for places to live.
Did you have a conversation with the defendant about his situation with Nicole Brown?
Yes.
And what did he tell you about that?
About my living arrangement, or?
Right. About your living arrangement and his situation with Nicole.
There's different things.
In mid to late May, did the defendant ask you to start looking for a place to live?
Did he ask me to look? No.
Did he indicate anything to you with respect to his relationship with Nicole?
Their relationship was over?
He told you they were broken up for good?
Yes.
And that was mid to late May of 94?
Yes.
And did you start looking, did you discuss moving in with someone else around that same time?
I was just moving. I mean, I don't know, it was someone else. I was looking at some places and not looking, and
Mr. Kaelin, did you have a discussion with Grant Kramer, your friend, about moving into his apartment with him mid to late May?
no, Grant asked me to move in, but I wasn't going to move in with him.
You weren't going to?
No, not with him.
Who were you going to move in with?
I was looking at a place on San Vicente and 3rd, and it was a single.
And did you actually make some arrangements to move there?
Yeah, I did the application. I knew the person that was renting it out.
And when was it that you made that application?
I think it was in May.
Okay. Had you made application to live anywhere else before that?
There was another place that was off another road in Brentwood that was pending with someone. It was someone's house, and there was it was sharing the house with them.
And when did you make application to live there?
That was, I think, also in May.
At any time prior to May, did you make application to move out and into some other location?
Not applications, but I was, looking. I didn't want to be a pain there.
Didn't the defendant ask you to come and stay with him?
Yes.
Then were you uncomfortable living there?
No, it was another maid that was saying things.
Another maid
Yes, before this.
that didn't want you living there?
She would say things. Do you want to know her name?
Yes.
Michelle.
Did you have some run-in with her?
No. She would say, OJ wants you out, but I never believe in you. You should go, Kato. I said, okay. And then OJ would say, I'll tell you when to go, not Michelle.
So she was urging you to leave.
Since day one.
Do you know why?
Do I know why?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think she just wanted the house.
Wanted the house?
Well, I don't think she wanted someone new there. I can't.
Did she clean you? I'm sorry, did she clean your room?
Yes. Sometimes she'd come in and would just show up.
Did you ever ask her to clean your room?
No.
All right, directing your attention to June the 12th.
Yes.
Can you tell us who was in the house, June the 12th of 1994? Can you tell us who was in the house on that date?
On June 12th?
Yes.
Just myself and OJ.
Was Gigi there?
She was not there.
How about Arnell?
I didn't see her now.
Okay. And Arnell, of course, we're referring to the defendant's daughter?
Yes.
Do you recall what time it was when you first saw the defendant on the date of June the 12th, 1994?
I thought it was like in the afternoon, about 2:30.
And where was it that you happened to see him at that time?
It was in the kitchen nook area.
Did you have a conversation with him?
Yes.
What did you talk about?
We talked about he went golfing that day. It was a golf game. And then what else he did, how he did in golf, and he played cards.
Did he tell you whether he won or lost?
In golf or cards?
Golf?
I don't remember.
Cards?
I don't know if he won or lost.
Okay. Did he mention to you any plans that he had for later on that day?
Yes.
And what was that?
There was a recital, the dance recital of Sydney's daughter with Nicole.
And what time did he plan to go to that?
5 o'clock recital.
Did he talk to you or mention anything to you about Nicole during that conversation?
They weren't together.
How did that come up?
It was conversation. I mean, I was reading a paper and it would come up about just Nicole, that their relationship was over.
Do you recall how that happened to come up? How come you were talking about him and Nicole being through?
I think it just came up about he was going to recital. I think it had to do with Paula, because I think OJ just wanted to go to the recital on his own, and I think she wanted to go, and I think it just came up like that.
Did Paula call at some point in that afternoon during that conversation?
Gosh, I think so. I can't recollect if, I think so.
Who do you mean when you talk about Paula? Who is that?
OJ's girlfriend?
Paula Barbieri, is that?
Yes.
Did you have a conversation with the defendant about Paula Barbieri?
I think she wanted to go, and that was it. That I think OJ just wanted to make it kind of a family thing, just to be on his own.
Okay. Did he tell you that Paula was upset because she wanted to go to the recital?
Yes.
She wanted to show Nicole that she was the defendant's girl?
Sustained.
No, is this what the defendant told you?
Rephrase the question.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. What did the defendant tell you that Paula said to him?
I think she was upset that she wasn't going to go. Yeah.
12:20, Your Honor.
12:20.
Evidence Code section.
No, I know. I'm thinking. I'm going to sustain the objection.
Can I be heard?
Sure. How about later?
Okay. You want-
Proceed.
Well, I'm going to get past it. How late are we going to go?
Until you feel comfortable. Is this a good point?
I guess so. So that we can work this through, because then...
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a recess at this point. Please remember my admonition to you: don't discuss the case amongst yourselves, don't form any opinions about the case, don't conduct any deliberation until the matter has been submitted to you. Do not allow anybody to communicate with you with regards to the case. Mr. Kaelin, I'm going to excuse you until tomorrow morning at 8:45. Do not discuss your testimony with anybody except for the attorneys. Do you understand the order, sir?
Yes.
All right, 8:45. See you tomorrow. All right, you may step down, sir. All right, counsel will argue that issue as soon as we excuse the jury. All right, we'll stand in recess. Thank you.